Hi guys, welcome back to Lost in My Library. My name is Kate. Today I am doing the whale book tag that was created by Brian from Book Time with Ryan. I saw Jim from Jim's Books Reading and Stuff do this recently, and I'm excited to do this. I love animals. Animals are my favorite thing in the world. When I went to Hawaii about a month ago, I wanted desperately to go to the aquarium because I just like that kind of thing. It's just the thing I like to do. I like going and seeing animals. I saw whales while I was there in Hawaii. I did not see whales in the aquarium because that would be inhumane to keep whales in that aquarium. Wasn't large enough, of course, because it's not a massive aquarium. But you could potentially see whales from the aquarium because they were by the ocean where you could potentially see whales in the ocean. I didn't see them there, but I did get to see whales. So, speaking of whales, the first question is blue whale. The blue whale is the largest, heaviest animal on Earth. What's the longest book you've read or want to read? Or what's the heaviest subject you've read about? I guess I can answer both questions. I've got answers for both, or all three, I guess. The longest book I have read has probably been, I was about to say not Hero of Ages, Well of Ascension, but I do believe actually it is Priory of the Orange Tree. Priory of the Orange Tree is massive. That is probably the longest book I have read. The longest book I want to read is either going to be The Stand by Stephen King or Way of Kings. I think Way of Kings might be the biggest book that Brandy Sandy has written. I don't know. Whatever the longest book Brandy Sandy has written is all about what to read list. Obviously, I will get there eventually. Hopefully. Heaviest subject matter I've ever read on is anything to do with race and racism. That's definitely been the most heaviest. I haven't read the heaviest of those books yet, but I have read The Hate U Give, and that was very heavy. Dealt with some really, really heavy subject matter. Number 2, sperm whale. Sperm whales routinely dive to a depth of 2,000 feet to feed on squid, but can dive to a depth of 10,000 feet. Wow. What is the book that has motivated you to look deeper into a subject, character, situation, or series? I think my love for mainly Greek mythology and my love of mythology in general is Rick Riordan. Rick Riordan's writing. I think that's just what has started everything. I think people of my generation can attest to this, that Rick Riordan was the reason that they got into mythology. A lot of us can say that. So Percy Jackson has gotten us to learn more about Greek mythology, and then eventually learning more and more about these religions that people actually believed in at one point. So, very, very excited. Rick Riordan. What got me into horror, I can attest to this, was the Goosebumps series. The Goosebumps series probably had a big impact on my life as well, because I'm a big fan of horror. So, and that stemmed from my love of Goosebumps when I was a child. So, I have a lot to thank for Rick Riordan and the Goosebumps series. Number 3, humpback whale. Humpback whales sing long, complex songs that they have in common with each other. Individual humpback whales These songs can change uniformly for entire groups of whales. So, what is a book that has changed meaning for you over the years? And why did it change? I don't know. Like, I think House of Hades for a good long time. I have House of Hades sitting right here. I literally have House of Hades sitting right here. House of Hades, my all-time favorite book. When I first read this book, this was not my all-time favorite book, by the way. When I first read this wasn't even my favorite book that Rick Riordan had written since when I read this. It was actually The Titan's Curse, which was my all-time favorite book. All-time favorite. Well, actually, no. Actually, even Titan's Curse wasn't even my favorite book. My favorite book was probably To Kill a Mockingbird for a long time. I really, really loved To Kill a Mockingbird. But since then, I have grown a lot. And I have reread this book multiple times since then. And I've grown a lot. And this book has changed a lot in how I view a lot of things. I've changed a lot since I was in high school, and I appreciate a lot more things. And I think this book encapsulates a lot of my change of how I look at things now, especially when it comes to literature. And I love House of Hades. I love House of Hades a lot. Obviously, it's my favorite book of all time. So, yeah. Plus, it's just... It's a whole thing. But I appreciate House of Hades a lot. Number 4, Orca, or killer whales, are incredibly smart. That they are. Social whales, dolphins. What's in parentheses dolphins? I'm not sure what that one's about. What's a book you felt was especially smart fiction or nonfiction and made you really think? I think that one of the smartest books, mystery books I've ever read was And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, taking out the fact that there is very problematic stuff in it. But I think having the entirety of the deaths based off of a poem, and the deaths not being straightforward from the poem, was genius. And then, of course, if you know the ending, there's a massive twist, of course, because a good mystery always has a good twist, that I didn't see coming. I thought it was very well thought out. I absolutely loved And Then There Were None, and that started my love for close quarter mysteries. So I appreciate And Then There Were None a lot. So I think that was absolutely intelligent with how it built everything. Yeah. Number 5, belugas. Belugas are nicknamed the canaries of the seas because of the sounds they make. What's a book you wanted to talk to others about after reading it, and why? Oh goodness, a lot of books. I've pushed so many different books. I feel like I'm you know what? I've said I'll love Rick. I pushed Rick Riordan. I've pushed Brandy Sandy. I've pushed the Christopher's books. So I'm gonna push somebody that I've read recently, and I've pushed quite a bit on a channel after reading their books. That's not as popular as like Brandy Sandy and all of them. And I'm gonna say Anne Willis, who wrote Devil's Night and January House. Or, no, Angel Eyes. Angel Eyes. Not January House. January House was the house in the book. And she wrote Demon House, which I have not read yet. Devil's Night, Angel Eyes, Demon House. Haven't read Demon House yet, but I do plan on reading it. It's a book that I read and I just fell in love with. And I just don't hear people talk about it. I don't hear Mainly it's because I think she's self-published, Anne Willis, and I just really, really enjoy this series, and I've been wanting people to pick it up and read it, because it's actually really good, and I've really enjoyed it so far, and I can't wait to actually pick up Demon House. I got the first book, Devil's Night, not Devil's House, I keep wanting to say Devil's House, Devil's Nights, as an arc, and then I loved it so much that I not only bought Devil's Night as a book, but I bought Angel Eyes and Demon House as books, physical books. I'm just, they're so good. They're good. At least the two I've read are good, so I'm gonna push that. Why am I pushing this? Because, she's self-published, and there's not a lot of push for self-published, and so these self-published authors need us readers to push and recommend these books. So, yeah. Narwhals! Male narwhals, known as the unicorns of the sea, have 2 teeth. Ooh, didn't know that. Including one long, spiraling tooth that can grow nearly 9 feet long. What's a book you heard great things about before reading, only to discover it was less magical after reading it? Dune! Dune. Actually, I have 2. Dune. And these books I talk about constantly that I just did not like. Dune. Didn't like. Boring. Why are the main characters named Paul and Jessica? Why? I didn't like Dune at all. And then Murder on the Orient Express. Why is the main character terrible? Like, it's just so frustrating that the main character of the book just wasn't likable. He said some things I was like, no. And then at some point I was just like, why should I care? Why do I care about this guy who died, who apparently was terrible? Why should I care? Why should I care that we are trying to figure out his murder? He was a terrible human being. And we kept learning more about him. I'm like, okay, why should I care at this point? And then the ending, then the whodunit was just like, okay, nah, I'm not okay with that ending. I was fed up when we found out who did it. I was fed up. I was done. Nah. It's done. Number 7, the Bowhead Whale. While it's evident bowhead whales live well beyond 100 years of age, there's evidence that they may live to be 200 years old. What is the oldest book in your collection, or what book has been in your collection the longest? Based on publication, or I guess, was the oldest book in my collection? The oldest book in my collection is probably actually sitting right here. I do not know how old this book is, by the way. I had tried to look at when this specific edition was made, but I cannot find anything about this specific edition. This is Lady of the Lake, and it's by Scott. I'm not sure. I forgot what his Sir Walter Scott is his name. And this book is old. My dad came to me one day. My uncle passed away fairly recently, and my uncle owned this book. My dad just came in one day and was like, "Here, this is now yours." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then I just tried to figure out how old this book is, and I can't decipher how old. I can tell you how old the poem is, because it's a poem. I can tell you how old the whole book is, but can I tell you how old this actual version of it is? No. So I've been told that it might be like early 1900s, but I don't know. I really don't know. Early to mid 1900s. I don't even know how long, like, it's falling apart. I don't even want to, like, hardly open it. And, like, I've looked up the publishing company and everything. I've, like, done, reverse, image search on this. There's nothing. There's just nothing about this book. And the publication pages are not in the book, by the way, if you're just wondering. My grandparents owned that house for a really, really long time. They've had that house since the 60s. And it's possible that this book is even older than that. So, I don't know. If anybody has any information about this, please do let me know, because I would love to know how old this book is. But guessing this is probably the oldest book I own. Oldest book I have that are published. I do own, obviously, the Bible, which I do believe to be very, 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 very old. Obviously, the version I have is not thousands and thousands of years old. But the writing inside of it, I do believe, is to be thousands of years old. Other than that, yeah, that's it. And then we got the Atlantic gray whale. Atlantic gray whales were sadly wiped out by humans. Today, only Pacific gray whales remain. Save the whales! Save the whales. What's one book that's either out of print or out of fashion that you wish would make a comeback? Ooh. Out of print or out of fashion? I don't know. I don't really have an opinion about that. Cause like all the books I'm thinking about are just like books that have gotten newer editions for them in recent years. I can't really think of anything at the moment. Ooh, I'm trying to think of classics that I'm like, oh, I heard about that and I kind of want to read that, but, you know, it's going to be extremely difficult to find anything about it. Maybe I'll have something about that. Bonus, Moby Dick. Moby Dick was the great white sperm whale Captain Ahab never caught. What is a book you want to own but haven't found or bought? And what's stopping you from hooking that book? I mean, there's a lot of special editions that I desperately want. And that's mainly because money. I cannot own them because money. There's definitely a lot of special editions. I'm like, I really, really desperately want that. But I can't because I don't have the money to do that. So, yeah. And then it's scientists tag whales to help study their behaviors, such as migration. Tag 5 booktubers. I'm terrible at tagging people, so if you haven't done this, do this. It's a fun tag, because whales and animals, we love them. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those good to YouTube things. Be a good cabbage today. Do something kind for someone, even if that is for yourself, because self-care is important. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.